Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Game number 1 of Ground Zero versus Bandit ESE. It could be anybody's game at this winners finals right over here as well. And both teams are ready to square it off.
Yeah, 2-0 was the prediction there. Ground Zero dominance is what JJ is expecting, as we see a bit of that already in this bot path. But both teams, they have to be so familiar, especially playing a mirror. It's all about who outmaneuvers the other. Look at the moves just trading back and forth. No mercy, full-on aggression. They aren't holding or pulling back any punches here, Moonboy.
Yep, especially when we're talking about a tri-lane in the bottom side, you don't really want to be falling off this early. An early lead to your opponent would allow them to snowball, but however, right here, Bandit is just pushing Ground Zero back, taking a few of their wild Pokemon and get those EXP up to par.
Yeah, I mean, definitely right now it looks to be to the favor of the side of Bandits ESC as they start that snowball rolling, but it seems like Ground Zero is still a little frozen up in this bot path as that Whoopee Alolan Ninetales hits the level 4 Power Spike first.
Yep, there we have on the top side as well. Anon already at level 5 with that Lucario. That means the extreme speed is online.
Oh, no.
Joe is already on this arena, but manages to get that Frogatier in the process, and that is not where you want to be, being KO'd this early. Bandit really have a really commanding start.
Oh, yo! Bandits ESC, they more than have Ground Zero's number. They've been on speed now this entire time. Bandits, they outmaneuver in the bot path, now in the top path as well. They recognize the move that Sulu likes to make. Come to the top path and help out Joe and get him off to this rolling start, and they put it to a halt.
Yep, that is what happens when you have that level lead, and he's so close to the level 7 with the Bone Rush on the Lucario as well. But however, on the bottom side, Moopy is really level 5 on that Ninetales, and they are really pushing it right now because right here, Ground Zero's hands are tied.
Yeah, Hyperspace Hold just to get the nice reset as well, as if they needed any more sustainability here. But now, top side as well. We're looking all across the map and it looks like Bandits ESC. They're starting to fire on all cylinders here and get heated up.
Yep, as we move forward towards the second set of these really soon as well, the central area Pokemon is the eyes to watch. Whoever comes out at level 9 would have that great advantage. But right here, their Wartortle is already at level 7.
Oh no.
Boopy pushing it on, but able to just dodge that out. And I think that right here, both sides just not gonna fight. Wait for those bees to come on. This is not the time to fight, guys.
Yeah, and Moonboy, I think the most crucial part about playing this exact mirror matchup is it all comes down to the micro advantages, right? Where you see Moopy, as soon as he hits that level 6 Aurora Veil, he's trying to put on some pressure because that is a move that Feather doesn't have just yet. But right now, what they don't have in this bot path is backup. Ground Zero forced to retreat as the Cruelly Wartortle comes down to try and apply some pressure. Meanwhile, the Lucario looks like he's joining up forces with them here. So they're going to get nice in position for that Dreadnought fight.
While Bandit has that Wartortle in his team, that means they will be a little bit tankier and they will be able to absorb more damage, and that's how Ground Zero. But here, right here in the Dreadnought side, Rapid Spin coming in and Zoe, you get the kill, but the KO on the Dreadnought as well. I think this is time for Ground Zero to push.
Oh dear, Moopy falling a little bit low here as he has the Aurora Veil hop away. And that kind of looked pretty good for Bandits ESC going in, but the Lucario just wasn't in time and they managed to secure it with Joe on that Serena once again. I think he's set up for a bit of a repeat performance despite having a bit of a slow start.
Yeah, I mean, and right now, you know, Ground Zero able to catch it up, and right here, Serena is online, Greninja is online, 2 Unite move is available for Ground Zero to expand, but right here, Bandit is still on the back foot now. The tides has turned right here, closing into the middle game. Ground Zero has that slight advantage.
Yeah, I mean, Moopy was the one who had the level advantage at first, but now Feather is kind of usurping him in that regard. But now there's a 3-man pressure on this bot side, forcing the Blitz Assistants out onto this Ninetales, and here comes Cruelly as well. They need to be so careful because the rotations are not available. That was a swing and a miss to say the least from Cruelly. Throws out the Hydro Typhoon, just waters the plants, I guess, as they're being forced away by 2 members from the side of Ground Zero. So they're gonna be happy with that. Water Burst Shuriken in as well. I'll show you how it's done. Suluwu, once again, this is what we expected from the man, and he shows up to play. Knocks down Cruelly, takes out 3, and answers right back for the bot path.
I need you down and I will knock you out. That is what Sulu has to say to that Blastoise right there, and I will chase you down to the 2nd tier turret I need, and that is what he did. He literally chased him down to the 2nd tier hook, and he has that lead, and he wants that lead. He wants to maintain that lead, and he don't want Bandit to come back from this one.
So they're playing a pretty mirrored composition except for the central area Pokemon, right? It is Blastoise and Lucario in comparison to Serena and Greninja, but that is the difference maker right there in that engagement. You see that Greninja come in with the Water Burst Shuriken, meanwhile the Blastoise swinging with the Hydro Typhoon but slightly mistimed. Now XD being found in the central area, Sulu wants to clean up, but there isn't any backup and he gets caught up all twisted up and he's just gonna go down. So slight overextension there from him, but just trying to be a bit aggressive.
That's what you say. That was a really bad extension going into the three-man clan right over there as well. But right here, Zoe is on the move. Joe able to get the Green Majesties off that Ninetales as well. Storm coming in, but unable to get the Dreadnought. Everybody has been forgotten about the Dreadnought right here, but right here in the Dreadnought pit, Rings Unbound pop off by both sides.
Yeah, Wiley gonna pop that off, but immediately drop to the deck. They just focus him down. Hydro Typhoon, this could be the tide turner. Joe dropping a little low, but Sulu is here to clean up. And now the only one standing is this Lucario, as he's not gonna be standing for long. Essentially, Ground Zero completely wiped the side of Bandits, despite them losing out that Dreadnought.
Wow, we have seen Joe on that Zarina yesterday, and he is not disappointing us today. Those Stomp resets right on time, taking those KO, and that is exactly what we want to see from Joe. And he will be putting that display with that Zarina. However, the rest of the team rotates up to the Rotom, trying to get more lead and try to distract Bandit off those bombs.
This has got to be a matter of pride more than anything, right? Because you're playing up against your old teammates. You know exactly what they need to do, but they're still stumping you. Here comes the Water Burst Shuriken. The side of Ground Zero, they want to go in for an engage, and they got to start it open with a pickoff onto the Ninetales. They can't really seem to get more at the moment, though. Luch is going to end up dropping down, and Dawn has extended a bit too far. And this kind of feels like something that we usually see, right? A lot of the times, what ends up happening is you get that first or second Rotom, and you push a bit too far, and you allow your opponents to answer back to that tier 2 goal zone.
Yeah, but looking at it right now, Bandit seems to be coming back on their foot. And right here, just to note, you notice that the Blissey actually popped off the Bliss Assistant previously as well. So right here, they have to start farming up their Unite move, as there are not much yellow dots on the map. As you guys will see at the top left corner, and right here, Ground Zero has to scramble how to get those Unite move up to get ready for that last Zapdos fight about 1 minute's time.
Yeah, yesterday we talked a lot about the positioning of the Hoopa, right? Moonboy, you're a Hoopa player yourself, so you know how big and strong you can be with that Rings Unbound form. But GZ, they recognize that as well. We saw that in that fight. As soon as Wiley popped that open, they just immediately focused down that Hoopa Unbound and couldn't throw out those Hyperspace Furies. They had the Side Beam to work with, and that severely dampened the team fight of Bandits.
Yep, that is definitely right. Those Hyperspace Fury, those knock-up is where you want to be, but the rest of the team get us down the bottom side. And I think right here, Ground Zero have their lead position, but Bandit manages to stick a 50 dunk on the top side as well. Dreadnought goes right to Ground Zero, and they are on the push. They're just pushing Bandits back and unable to respond to this one.
Oh, Joe, just going in aggressively, but Bandits ESC, that was an executive decision from them, right? The Lucario Aenon chose to dunk the 50 on the top side, and the Alolan Ninetales was just farming away and getting that EXP up. Now they're rotating into the top side. They need to be so careful because it looks like they're starting to flank off the side of Bandits. They could get caught out here. The Egg Bomb gonna be a toss into nothing as the final stretch begins.
Well, right here, Ground Zero already got pole position onto that final Zapdos, a big Rings Unbound. We're gonna be seeing lots of Rings Unbound coming in, and it's gonna be crucial. Whoever pops it first might have the disadvantage.
Feather in a bit of a rough spot. Hydro Typhoon doesn't land onto anyone, but manages to start the fight with pick up with the Feather. Now Joe, he's the one in trouble. This is the Serena we're talking about. Sulu caught in a bad way. As the Bliss Assistants trying to clean up on the Moopy, but the sustain is there. The focus band. Finally, the Alolan Ninetales to fall, but the Side Beam finishes off Sulu. And for once, Ground Zero get completely grounded here by Bandits. They just fire away in that team fight, opening it up on the Feather, and that has not got to feel good as Zapdos already being started up by Bandits.
Well, Zapdos is halfway there, but the rest of the team of Ground Zero might be back in time. Were they able to get some Feather? Unable to get the steal off that one, and run, Bandit, run, they say, as they'll be running straight right to the goal zone, scoring hundreds and hundreds again.
I feel like that was criminal from Bandits. How did they get away with that? Feather, usually the mastermind, usually the reliable player on the side of Ground Zero, is the one to be caught out. They even expend a Hydro Typhoon for it, but it's more than worth it. That's your shot caller out of commission, and just like that, Bandits have snatched the lead right back. The Hyperspace hole as well to get that Lucario out of danger, and he's gonna come back just for the dunk. Of course, it's gonna be to no avail as the goals are up in defense again. So, I mean, right now, it's just on Ground Zero. They basically have to come together in this bot path to make one final push.
Yep, take a look at the score right now. 2-5 3 to 355. 1 or 2 more dunks is all Ground Zero needs to just close it over. 20 more seconds on the clock. It could still be Ground Zero's game as they right here, they're gathering in the 4-man side and going for a push at the bottom side.
Yeah, but Bandits, no, they only have one move, but they started out picking up the Alone Ninetales. That's a good pick. Second one to drop on the side of Bandits ESC. They've cracked open the goal and they've taken the lead somehow. Even though it's a 2v4, Ground Zero, now they're on the front foot. But Bandits, they don't have any response. They're on the wrong side of Aeos Stadium, and they're the ones who are gonna get the victory snatched out from under their feet. Ground Zero, what an answer!
Is that really the win? Is that really? I have no idea, man. At this point in time, they could be ending for this point.
They broke open that goal. It's Ground Zero.
Oh.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing of all is that Aegislash is such a technically intensive Pokemon to play, right? You need to make good use of both your shield and your sword form. You need to know when can I go all in? When do I need to be a little tankier? Because there are times when, you're just rushing in with the Sacred Sword and you're just gonna get blown up. So it's just all about managing the limitations of your Pokemon, but it's definitely one with a very high skill cap.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be Deja Vu right here in the bottom side as well. Ground Zero being pushed back this early into the game and unable to get that early game lead. But however, on the top side, with that Aegislash, you have to be really careful, especially when you're in the basic stage.
Oh, a bit of a turnaround, Lush. Oh, no way. The evolution actually keeps him up. Did you see that? He managed to dodge out that last auto attack with the invisibility frame, and just like that, Ground Zero, they're off to a hot start in this bot path. A bit of a flip of the script from game number 1.
Yep, sorry, as I was saying, right, as that Honedge, you get double the damage, so you got to be really careful against your opponent where he's a Lucario, where he's a basic Pokemon, he has so much early game skilling as well, so that you have to be really wary.
Okay, but there is the level up already at that level 5. We talked about being careful, but we didn't manage to mention that this Doublade can do equally as much damage. You are sacrificing your own defense, but you get a huge attack boost from it as well.
Yep, there's kind of like a double-edged sword coming in from this Pokemon. Haha, get it?
The sword puns already coming in. But, it's going to be Lucario coming in for the sword as well and takes him down. So he even trades all throughout that top path. It's not looking as cute for Bandits in this bot path though, as GZ, with this early advantage, they've been really able to sort of snowball the levels in a good way. Level 4 only on Moopy this time round, while Feather has hit that early level 5. Yeah. Like we said, the second he hits that level 6, that's when the Aurora Veil comes online and the snowball just keeps rolling on.
Yep, the level 6 is not too far off for Feather, right? Take a look at this neutral Pokemon as well. They're just there freely, and Ground Zero is just taking it every single time. This Hyperspace Hole is always right on time for the team to go back, go for the reset, and come back for the next set of wild Pokemon. And this is what we call perfect timing coming in from these support players.
A bit of a difference in priority coming out from both these Frogadiers. Earlier on, we saw Ground Zero, they brought, I believe they brought their Greninja to the bot side earlier on before he even fully evolved yet. But right now, they're leaving the bot path to their own devices, right? They're really focusing on this top path because they realize that this Aegislash can be such a swing or a miss. If you do get him off to that good start, then suddenly the Lucario looks nothing but a harmless puppy dog, right? But if he does start to fall behind, then he just gets easier and easier to take down. So continuing to stack that attack weight and now finally evolve to that Aegislash.
Yep, especially right here, your Aegislash, your defense and your attack stats has been increased by a lot, right? By a mile, just by evolving into that Aegislash stage. Because right here, both teams gonna stare down on their very first Dreadnought as the whole team is gonna be gathering around. It's gonna be 5v5 at the Dreadnought pit.
Yeah, Aegislash coming in as well, already shielded up, looking for an entry into the fight. In comes the Sacred Sword onto 2, that's 2 attacks. Immediately, Wily dropping low, trying to get the hits off. The shield form manages to keep him up. XD is going to be ported back to base, but it looks like it's a good fight for Ground Zero. They managed to take out Saluo, but now Feather caught in a rough way. He doesn't have any support, and he's going to drop. So initially, what looked like a good fight for Joe ends up being slightly disastrous as his focus band is proc, and they take down everyone but the Aegislash. You got a buff, we don't care, baby. We're just going to ignore you and take out the rest of your squad. Bandits, ESC able to steal away that Dreadnought.
I love how Bandit did that maneuver, but before that, ladies and gentlemen, there we have Ground Zero going in for the defense as well. Joe going straight right down to that Greninja, and Bandit is on the roll, and they'll be dunking and closing off this particular tier 1 hook. As I was saying previously, Bandit really maneuvered it really well, taking out Saluo first, and then Feather, and then Joe, right? This is basically what they're going to do. Pick out that main carry so that they can't make any influence in this matchup.
Yeah, and I mean, Joe, you know, he definitely tried his best. I think he managed the shield and sword forms very well, but it just wasn't enough, right? We thought he was going to take out Wily, and he did, but the rest of the team, Anon as well as Cruelly, they were just cleaning up. A bit of shades of Sulu here, kind of outdoing him on the performance that we saw previously, but now top half, they want to fight for this Rotom. They brought 5 people up here on ground zero.
Yep, the Lucario over there,
Oh.
Aura Cannon unable to get the steal off that Rotom. I believe this is the time for Ground Zero to push and get a bit of footing against their opponent. Hyperspace Call going back, Joe diving in.
Oh, Secret Sword gonna miss, and the coup de grace just gonna be completely whiffed. There's the Snow Globe as well, wipes down 3, and things are falling apart for Ground Zero, and they're dropping fast. Moopy gonna take out his counterpart Feather to fall as well, and a KO streak of 3 from Moopy on this Alolan Ninetales.
This is the moment for Bandit to push. This is the moment for Bandit to scale, and they are pressing Ground Zero down as much as possible, missing those crucial unites from the AG Slash. It's not where you want to be, and right here they have to rethink how are they gonna do this one, because Hoopa from Bandit is already level 9, and that's what we know. Rings Unbound is coming back up.
Yeah, I love the way Bandits ESC capitalized and made the most of that dunk, right? When they won that fight, you know, for sometimes, you know, when we play together in group play, you gotta kind of calculate, do the quick math, but they already know what the order of dunking is. They get that done fast, and now they're in the prime position to fight for this upcoming second Dreadnought.
Yep, as all the team converge right over here, Rings Unbound coming in from Ground Zero. I believe it's gonna be both sides as well.
This assistance on the Moopy, but this Alolan Ninetales is in the thick of trouble and can't get out of that situation, but the return, Hyperspace Fury, takes down 1 already. That's Joe down. Sulu trying to clean up on the backside, but he can't face off against Cruelly. Meanwhile, Anon trying to take out Feather, but has the back up of this Blissey, so this Lucario more than likely is going to drop. But as the dust settles, it looks like Ground Zero Sulu was able to clean up for the most part on the backside, so it's a 2v2. Lush and Feather versus XD and Moopy right now. Moopy still trying to make his way to the fight as XD getting slapped up and frozen. That's the Sacred Sword finishing him off. This extended fight has gone on for quite a while, but it looks like Ground Zero that's starting to edge out the victory here as they push back the side of Bandits, and now it's them who are taking the Dreadnought, but Bandits, they're not done. They're coming in.
Well, I mean, Ground Zero already got that position onto that Dreadnought as well, but here comes Bandit, but unable to get it. And Lucario going in with the extreme speed. I don't think it's going to be a right call for him. 1v5, that's not the right space to be, baby.
Cruelly though,
As the Cruelly is moving in, might be able to go for the sneak on the Dreadnought.
Yeah, he gets the Alolan Ninetales, so there's the serve, but immediately, as soon as they see that move used, Sulu comes in to clean it up. Now it's just him against the world. There is the smoke screen to get out of this situation. XD still on the chase. The egg bomb to disrupt him as well, but I don't think they'll be able to get the touch. So that extended fight ends up going the way of Ground Zero, but Bandit, they are definitely not too displeased about that. They answer back with some KOs of their own.
Wow, I mean, that was a great extended fight. I've not seen a fight this long before.
Yeah, right? Like, that felt like it went on for so long. And it's especially because they didn't commit to the Dreadnought, right? No team really wanted to make that move, but now they're going to make a move to the Rotom instead.
Yeah, but I think big props going to Lush for keeping Feather alive at that point in the very first time. If the Feather really goes down at that point, that would be GG for Ground Zero for the second Dreadnought. But right here, they got that Rotom. They are going on the push as Ground Zero scrambles right back to the central area to get back those Unite moves as fast as possible.
Yeah, I think it must be so difficult to make that decision, because as a Blissey, you can really only throw that Bliss Assistance or that safeguard on one other ally, right? So you gotta make that decision. Is it gonna be Joe? Is it gonna be Sulubu? Is it gonna be Feather? This time he makes the right call and he sticks by his Alolan Ninetales side, and because of that, the Alolan Ninetales is able to stand up for most of that fight. Feather is able to continuously pump out that damage and ends up helping Ground Zero take that fight. But now it's the final stretch, and this is one that Ground Zero definitely need to take. Bandits, they have a huge score advantage, so the only way now is to win a team fight and then go for the dunks, if not for Zed.
Yep, XD trying to bait the rest of the team out. Rings Unbound
Got a Unite move
side as well.
Yeah, Sulubu immediately dashing in. I believe that was multiple shuriken from him. The Blitz assistance from Luch, saving that Greninja for now. Dashes away with the smoke screen, still laying in the shurikens, but incapacitated by the Hyperspace Fury. Needs to be so careful, but that Rings Unbound Hoopa is going to be the first one to pop. Now Dawn, they're going on to this Lucario, but the Aura Sphere keeping him up and running for now. Dawn now onto the back lines. Anon trying to do out the damage, but it's not enough. Sulu is going to get the reset. So as the dust settles Ground Zero, they're able to take a pretty successful fight, all things considered, and continue to pressure up this tier 1 goal zone. Now Anon doesn't want to let that happen, but I don't think he's going to have much say in the matter as he drops to the deck as well. So Ground Zero, they've won the fight, they've expanded Unite moves, but the Zapdos is still up and they're still like 50 points behind.
Well, I love how this maneuver, that fight, they actually directed all the way down to the bottom side so that no one is near that Zapdos, and whoever who won that battle has to make their move or use additional time to move the Zapdos as well. And this is right positioning coming in from both teams, and this is perfect play, I would say. Perfect hyperspace hold to reset the rest of the team coming in from ground zero, thus allowing them to survive a little bit deeper. But Cruelty on the offense.
Yeah, Cruelty throws the Waterburst Shuriken in, but doesn't really land onto any meaningful target. Joe is going to be able to duel him up as they're trying to take this Zapdos out. Here comes the steal. Is it available? No! Cruelty sniped his time on the surf. That's not what he wanted to do, as the shields are there and they're able to get the resets. Now defenseless, 3 gold zones to work with and points on the deck. The Aeos balls are full of energy and they're going to deposit them. So Numu evens it out right now. They need to make a desperate maneuver, but there's no way they can defend anymore. There's too many down on the side of Bandits, and ground zero, they're going to tie this game up with just 10 seconds left on the line. They're able to fire back into that Zapdos and take this game number 2 win.
Wow, I mean, ground zero moving straight right to perfection, ending the game just at that perfect moment. Even if Bandit would be able to stop there and then, they wouldn't be able to come for a comeback game. And ground zero did that to perfection, calculated it right, and just went for the win. That fight before the Zapdos was just too insane.